See, the problem that we've got now is, or the puzzle is that the food thing's going to work. So if we could hold the population steady at around about 80, even with the tools the way they are, if we had a population of about 70 or 80, then the food would constantly creep upwards, and then we could get to the point where we had enough of a stockpile that we could take the population very quickly from the 70 or 80 mark up to the 400, get the achievements, and then let it die back down again through starvation and any other number of means. But the problem is that they're not going to hover around the 80 mark. We've got just a few too many houses, I think. If we could sort out the tools problem, then we would be okay, because if they were working with good tools, then even at the 100 mark they would be bringing in more food than they're actually using. So we wouldn't see the starvation cycles, we'd just see them get to the point where they're overcrowded, and the population would just stay level at sort of the 110 mark where it gets to now. But going through the starvation cycles, even though they get back up to a nice sort of level of stored food, we're not going to see them build up enough food to shoot past and be able to get to that 400 mark where we need them. So should I demolish a house or two? I suppose if I'm going to, I should do it now. I wonder if we've got any empty ones. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try that. So let's see, at the moment the population's getting up to 110, and we definitely want to cap it at, say, 90. That means removing about 5 houses. So let's do it. And let's do it in places where we've got people gathering. So yeah, this is a good one. We'll take you out. Ah, now there's a thought. Because we've got no... Let me put more people in the mines. Because we've got no builder, maybe the house won't be destroyed. They'll be evicted. Okay. In which case it doesn't matter whether or not they're... let's destroy that house. Just be careful about this, make sure I don't pick any other structures up. I'll evict you. So that limits that caps the population by 10. So we got up to about 109, 110 before. So that should limit the population to about 100 now. So if we take out another 2 houses, and go for you. Yeah, I think I want to thin out the buildings over here rather than anywhere else. So I'll take out you. Okay, so that should limit us now. Oh, we've got yellow fever. Okay. Right. Let's get a physician. Okay, you can carry on. As long as the yellow fever takes out a stable age range of the population, I'm not too worried. So reducing a population, especially through a method other than starvation, isn't really a bad thing, because it means that our food supplies will continue to increase. So I know that if we have 20,000 food, that we can jump the population from 100 to 200. Because I've done that before. Now to jump the population from 200 to 400, of course, we're going to need a whole load more houses. Okay, I think the yellow fever outbreak has been resolved. That's the handy thing about having a hospital built. As long as all you need to do is just pop a physician in there and they'll cure your sick people. Okay, so the population now is up to 76. How's this mine doing? Oh, it's still got 30%, that's not too bad. I thought it would have been a lot lower, because I thought I built it about the same time as this other mine, but it must have been quite a bit afterwards. Thinking of which, I am going to have to put somebody in a quarry just to slowly get enough stone for the next time that we need a mine. And we need at least one forester, just just maintaining the wood supply. And as soon as we get to the point where we've got either a large stock of tools or a large surplus of iron, like once we get up to maybe 100 iron, I'm going to switch one of these mines onto coal, and we'll see if we can get a stock of coal. Now, we couldn't build up a stock of coal before because the villagers kept using the coal to heat their houses. But of course now we've got less houses, so the firewood is keeping up. Let's see, yeah, I was just worried that we didn't actually have anywhere over here for people to live, but we have. We've got one house there and another house here, and one there, so we've got a few houses dotted around. So the plan now is, so we'll just sort out, let these tools settle down. They're going to bounce up and down a little bit, but we should see it get to the point where they're making more tools than they're breaking, and that because a lot of this will be the reason why it's so spiky at the moment, why there's a lot of tools available and then there's very few tools available, is because when we built the third blacksmith and we switched both mines over to iron, it puts a flood of tools on the market. So years later, all those tools are all the same age and they break all at the same time. So it takes decades for those spikes to even out into a nice smooth a sort of level tool breakage and replacement cycle. But yeah, we're gonna let that sort itself out and hopefully get them back onto steel tools eventually. And then I'm gonna, well, and while that's going on, just gonna let them build up a good surplus of food. I need to calculate exactly how much food we need to build up, but I know it takes 20,000 food to get from 100 to 200 population. So if you've got all the houses you need, which we have, we can easily get up to 200, but all we'd need to do is to reactivate these houses and we get a population boom and it goes straight up to 200, and it'd only take a few years to do it. Wouldn't be sustainable, they would die off very rapidly. It'd probably take 5 years to get there and die back again, but because we'd go into starvation pretty rapidly. But that would get us to 200. So to get to 400, so that we can get all of those achievements, I'm gonna have to build more houses. So I need to do some sums about how many houses we've got and sort of what the average capacity of a house is, because I know some of these houses you can fit up to 5 people. Like that one's got 5 people in that house, And most of these will be very crowded because we haven't built any new houses for a while, and we haven't let anyone move out, so they're quite overcrowded at the moment. But if we switch on houses very quickly, then and allow people to breed very fast, then we won't get 5 people in a house. We'll only get 3 or 4 on average, because take this family. What will happen is we switch this house on and those 2 will move out and they'll leave these 2 behind. So we'll end up with a young couple in this house, and sure, they'll have more children, so that house will end up with 5 people in, but this house will just have 2. So we probably end up with an average of 3 people per house. So we're going to need 130 houses to get to a population of 400 with rapid growth. Oops, do you know, look how many, what are we on, 75, 80, we've got a lot of labourers. Let's get some down the mines and some in the forests, because we're running awfully low on logs. Yeah, so 130 houses. Now we're going to have to find the space to build 130 houses. I don't know how many we've got now. I'm not sure how we count them either. I think there is a report that'll tell us, but I think we need the town hall for that. And I've not built a town hall. Just see. General statistics, I think. Yeah, that's that one. Yeah, so the only way we'd know is if we actually manually count them. Okay. Let's just have a look around and see. Because to fit, I'd say we must have 50 houses. So we need about double the number of houses. That makes sense actually, because we had 200 population before and we need to grow it to 400. So about double would be right. And where would we put them? So ideally we don't want them on prime collecting land. So this is houses in addition to, because obviously when we want to grow fast we'll just reclaim all of these houses and we'll switch them back on. But yeah, we need extra houses. Now it would make sense if we were to remove some of the graveyards. So at first I was trying to do this with a third challenge of making sure that everybody who died got buried in a graveyard, but yeah, that was one challenge too many. I think getting all of the Steam achievements on one map is enough of a challenge without trying to get all of the dead people in a cemetery.